Why don't people invest? Today we are talking about the hesitations of people investing so that we can realize what these reasons are and not have them be our own reasons for not investing. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier. Let's dive right in. There are a lot of reasons on why people don't invest. So let's address some of these reasons today so that they don't become reasons for ourselves not to be investing. Because from what I've seen in my own life, investing my money has been one of the best things that I have done in order to build my wealth and create that financial freedom and even that $1 million net worth. The first reason on why people don't invest is because of the fear of the unknown. They don't know what they're getting into. They don't really understand what the investments are and what they can actually do for that person. Having that fear of the unknown can really hinder people from diving into the investment world. People like to stick with what they are familiar with, and if they're not familiar with investing, then they are going to stay away from that. So we really want to understand our options for investing and see what would be best for us. I know that I had a fear of losing all of my money before I started investing very seriously. But once I started to understand investing, I was able to make one small investment and then make another small investment and continue to build that over time. But it took gaining the knowledge of investing, understanding how I could really make my money work for me, to be able to get started investing. I wasn't so afraid once I had educated myself about investing. And of course, I did still have some worries, but that wasn't hindering me from investing my money. I knew the potential was there to grow my money exponentially, and I wanted to get started with that. And this goes along with reason number 2 on why people don't invest. They just have a lack of financial literacy. So the more that we can educate ourselves about investing, then we can start to understand how it works and feel more comfortable with investing. There are a lot of ways that we can educate ourselves about investing. For example, watching YouTube videos like this, or we can even listen to podcasts or read blogs, or even read books about investing like the one that I have written, You Will Be Financially Free. I share my journey of investing in the stock market and in real estate and build up to $1 million net worth and create financial freedom. So the steps are in the book. If you want your own copy, I'll leave a link below in the description. We can also get coaching about financial literacy. There are so many ways to educate ourselves, but it's important that we do and that we actually understand what we are investing in. I remember making the mistake of investing in something that I didn't fully understand, and I lost thousands of dollars because I didn't understand this investment. I was presented with the opportunity to invest in whole life insurance. It was a recommendation from my old 401k rep at my previous job. And I thought, he knows what he's talking about. And so I ended up signing up for this life insurance policy. And then once I started to do more research and understand a little bit more about life insurance, I realized it was not a good policy for me. And so I ended up canceling that policy and losing thousands of dollars. So from there on out, I decided to invest in things that I actually understand. So if there is something that I want to invest in and I don't fully understand it, then I'm going to educate myself and become more familiar with it and start to understand what that investment is. And then that way I can feel comfortable investing in it or choose not to. But I'm making an educated decision. And if you do want some help with this education portion of investing, I have a free masterclass where I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market. I will leave a link to that below in the description, and you can click on that and check out the free masterclass. And then the third reason on why people don't invest is because of the myths about investing. There are a few common myths that I want to address very quickly. And I do have another video breaking this down into more detail, so I will leave a link above. You can check it out later on. But one of the myths is that I will lose all of my money. Of course, there's probably been stories that you've heard where people have said they have lost all of their money. And yes, if they are investing in just one single investment and that company tanks, then you can lose all of your money. But if you are diversified, if you have multiple investments, then you are much less likely to lose all of your money. And if you are diversified in an index fund, for example, that has over 500 stocks in it, 500 companies, and you lose all of your money, then there is something else going on in the world. And I hope that you have your food storage. And then another myth about investing is that it is too complicated to do on my own. I felt this way in the beginning when I was first starting to try to invest. I did feel like there was so much information out there and I just didn't know what to focus on. And it was overwhelming and it did seem complicated. And the jargon that people used on the TV or on the different shows was all very confusing. But honestly, I was able to educate myself and learn how to invest very successfully, even to the point of financial freedom. So it is possible for us to learn how to invest our money. It does not need to be complicated. We can actually keep it very, very simple. And like I mentioned before, if you do want help keeping your investing simple, definitely check out that masterclass with the link below in the description. And then another myth is that it takes too much time to invest. They want to spend time on other things, and so they just put off investing, thinking it's going to take too much time to do that. But honestly, we can invest in very little time, and we can even automate our investing, which is pretty amazing. That's one thing that I've done with my stock market investing. I've automated that, so there's just an auto transfer from my checking to my investment account and into my investment. So it takes very little time, hardly any time at all, to invest in the stock market. And that is something else that I do talk about in my masterclass. And then one other myth I want to bring up is that it takes too much money to invest. Honestly, you can start in the stock market with just $5. Just $5. That's it. And the thing is, once you get started, then you become more familiar with it and you feel more comfortable doing it. And then you start to invest even more and more money, which helps that grow exponentially over time to build your wealth. And if you do want to know how to get started with just $5, I do have another video breaking the steps down for you. I will leave a link above. You can check it out later on. All right, and then reason number 4 on why people don't invest is because they are focused on the short term. They just want that quick win. They want to become the overnight millionaire. But honestly, with investing, if we can have that long-term perspective, we are going to be successful investors. We really want to prioritize our long-term goals over those short-term wants, that instant gratification. If we can do that, then we will be able to invest and grow our money exponentially. And then we can buy those wants and not feel strapped for cash. I was able to keep that long-term focus and create my $1 million net worth because I had that long-term focus, that long-term goal. And it made a really big difference in me building up my wealth, but also in other areas of my life because I wasn't so focused on that instant gratification. I realized that good things do take time. And then reason number 5 on why people don't invest is because of emotional biases. They hear one story of their uncle who lost all of his money in the stock market, and they think, oh, there's no way I'm investing. That sounds terrible. I don't want to lose all of my money. And if my uncle lost all of his money, and then if I have a buddy over here who shared the same story, then they have these emotional biases and they are afraid to invest because they think they're going to lose their money. But what about all of these other people that have been successful with investing? We really want to be rational when we are thinking about our money and looking at examples of people that are wealthy, that were successful with investing, and they were able to repeat that process over and over. And like I mentioned before, if we're able to diversify our investments, if we have more than one investment, then most likely we are not going to lose all of our money. We can be very smart about our investing, take calculated risks, and receive really high rewards. I have seen this with my own investing, so I know it is possible. And sometimes people may have a previous experience where they got burned with someone, that they made an investment with a certain person, and that ended up not being a good situation, and they did not receive a great return on their money, or they didn't even see any of their money come back to them, which is very terrible. But we need to realize that that's just one situation, and we can learn from that situation and then improve and educate ourselves and learn how to invest on our own and be successful with that. We don't want to miss opportunities that are going to present themselves because of a previous experience we had or because of a negative story that we heard from someone else. And to share a personal example, I have a friend that I met at church, and she was telling me that when she invested in the stock market, she saw all of her investments drop significantly, and so she became very fearful and sold all of her investments and locked in her losses. And the stock market came back up later on, and so she had missed out on all of those gains. And if I had just heard her story about the stock market tanking and her selling her investments and didn't realize that that's not always the case, then I could have been very fearful of investing. But I have seen others be successful with investing, so I know it's possible. And since I started investing myself and saw those exponential gains, I knew that it could work or that it was working because I had seen it with my own investments. And then reason number 6 on why people don't invest is because of lack of confidence. They may not believe in themselves. They may not think that they can be a good investor. And so they don't even try to invest. One way to overcome this is to educate ourselves. We can invest our money and we can be very successful with investing. I have seen it personally with my own investments. And I was not perfect at investing. I did make some mistakes. Like I said, I had done the whole life insurance policy and lost thousands of dollars. But I had also seen success with some of my other investments. And sometimes I did get sidetracked and think, oh, I could probably make a quick win here. And then I didn't. And then I have to remember, Tiffany, remember the long-term mindset. That is what works. That's what is going to continue to work over time. And just the other night, I was at a luau and I was talking to an older couple. They were probably in their 70s or so. And the husband is the one that manages their finances. And he was telling me that he remembers one of his friends who got into day trading, and he had told him to get into day trading and buy these certain stocks. And then when he talked to that friend later, his friend was saying, oh, yeah, I didn't make what I thought I was going to make. And honestly, over the long term, just buying and holding actually outperformed the day trading. So it's not that we need to spend all of our time with our investments to be successful and day trade and do that as a full-time job. We can be very passive with our investing and still be very successful. And there is another point that I want to bring up. As I was talking to this older couple, I also was telling the wife what I do, that I do financial coaching and I help people invest their money. And she asked, oh, do you do that for retired people as well? Because she doesn't know anything about their finances. He takes care of everything. He pays the bills, he does the investing, and she doesn't know any of those things. So it is so important that we educate ourselves, especially as women, so that we know exactly how to invest our money, how to take care of our finances, so that we do not have to rely on someone else to do that for us. And when we get older, we will know exactly what is going on with our money and not be afraid if our spouse is going to pass away before we do. So it is very important that we invest our money, that we get it working for us, so that we don't always have to work for the money, and so that we can understand exactly how we are building our wealth, and so that we aren't a burden on someone else later on. All right, I'm sure I missed some reasons on why people don't invest, so comment below and tell me one reason why people don't invest. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information, and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more great content from me, make sure and check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.